You turn any which way with the year's end upon us, and you'll find heated debates towards the quality of almost every element. Best animation, best direction, best story, and characters, everyone's arguing towards this standard of good. Yet that type of discussion feels strangely lacking when it comes to music, or at least not nearly present to the same degree. Crunchyroll's Anime Awards doesn't even have a best soundtrack category this year. Made in Abyss clinched last year's favorites for Best OST of 2017 with little argument to the contrary, but also little argument in general. So what makes an anime soundtrack good? Or at least good to most people? We certainly recognize when one in particular stands out, but the question is, what is it specifically? It's important that a soundtrack be properly mixed, ideally have real instruments over synthesized ones where stylistically appropriate, a fitting musical style to match the show, balanced instrumentation, etc, 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 but all that just makes for a passable soundtrack. No one's going to be raving over a show for how brilliantly okay it was at everything. No, what I think makes those special soundtracks stand out is that they uniquely utilize their role as a part of the show. Think about it. Bebop, Made in Abyss, literally any Ghibli movie, no one in their right mind would call the soundtracks to those background music. That's not to say the simple and effective upbeat tunes of a lot of slice of lives can't have staying power, though usually in that case they eat their way into your memory through merciless repetition and very strong melodies. But speaking generally, people are more inclined to remember a soundtrack that is willing to vie for your attention, alongside the more apparent elements like story, character, and visuals. Those shows that take a soundtrack and elevate it as a core aspect of a show, not just something sitting underneath to remind us what emotion we're supposed to be feeling, are the ones that stand out. When you have entire sequences without words dedicated to utilizing the emotional potential of music and visuals alone, well, it's impossible not to notice. The issue lies in that you can't really go 50-50. If you don't have that high level of dedication to elevating the soundtrack, then you just end up with some distracting background music. But in the other case, it ends up being something that goes in one ear and out the other. Certainly not bad, but definitely not special either. And this certainly can be chalked up to any number of factors, from director approval to the composer's style and approach and beyond. But I think it's pretty evident that the works which people remember for their music tend to have specific traits in common. Either heavy repetition and memorable melodies, as in the case of Slice of Lives and also a lot of shonens, or a very apparent and distinct sound to it. Sure, everything's derivative, but when you can strike that balance between grabbing someone's attention but not putting them off guard, you've struck gold. It's a risky move to go for something more abstract, but when it works far better than anything stuck within its own conventions ever will. Coming back to Made in Abyss, I think it really exemplifies a lot of what people might not realize they want from an anime soundtrack. Something that tries to represent the show beyond a surface level. It's weird for all the right reasons. A fascinating soundscape and great choices in instrumentation. At points it gets genuinely uncomfortable to listen to. Disconnected sounds blending together with unforgiving dissonance. Yet that all is all too perfect for the macabre tone the show so frequently turns to. It stands out, but it stands out in the sense that you notice when you finally find a pair of clothes that really fits you. It's so perfect that you can't help but acknowledge it. And fortunately, it seems that the creativity of anime soundtracks is on an upwards trend. Not to say it was ever lacking, but we're seeing some genuinely cool stuff being done now, not just looking to the past wistfully. Films like Liz and the Bluebird, where Kensuke Ushio and Naoko Yamada were working together to integrate the music at the core of the film, and Ushio himself utilizing some very interesting auteur techniques. Takagi Masakatsu of Wolf Children and Mirai is also doing some really powerful work, to the point that I'd like to dedicate a whole video to him sometime. And I'm sure there are a plethora of others I'm forgetting to mention at the moment, but the point is that we've definitely got some great, interesting stuff coming, and I can't wait to see what's the next good anime soundtrack that captures everyone's attention. Thanks for watching. Give me money. You can do so on Patreon at patreon.com/korereviews. A very special thank you to my patron Talon. My Patreon is great for many reasons. It helps me keep making videos. It provides me with money. which I can use and make more videos and buy things that help me make videos. You should check it out sometime. It's pretty cool. Link in the description. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.